Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Watches TV, where I watch all the TV shows, and then I come over here and I talk about them. And today I want to talk about one of the newer Trainwreck documentaries on Netflix, which is called Storm Area 51. I watched it last week. I also watched PI Mom, so I'll be reacting to that as well. But I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. Last night, I started the new documentary on Hulu called Mr. and Mrs. Murder. I watched the first 3 episodes, and tonight I'm going to watch the conclusion, the 4th episode. It is so fantastic, you guys. It is one of the best true crime documentaries I have ever watched. I mean, in all honesty, probably in my top 10 list of true crime documentaries. I could not stop watching it last night. I had to get up very, very early this morning. So I was like, if I didn't have to get up early this morning, I would have binge watched all 4 episodes last night. It was fantastic. But I'm giving you guys a heads up because I'm probably going to do that reaction tomorrow. So if you want to watch it before I'm going to do my reaction, I just want to give you guys a little notice so you could watch it tonight. But I would highly, highly recommend it. And I will be doing my reaction to that tomorrow, and then on Thursday I will be doing my reaction to PI Moms. Okay, so today I want to talk about I think it's the newest Trainwreck documentary on Netflix. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Trainwreck is a production team that has been putting out a series of documentaries on Netflix. Let me go through. I will read you all of the ones that they have done so far. They have done, hold on just a second. They have done the Astroworld tragedy. They have also done Woodstock 99 several years ago. Mayor of Mayhem. I have not watched that one and covered it. And I also have not watched Astroworld. Those 2 are on my list. Poop Cruise, which I did cover, and the video's already up. The Cult of American Apparel, which I already covered. Let's see. The Real Project X, which I already covered. Balloon Boy, which I already covered. PI Moms, and then Storm Area 51. And so those are all of them that they have out. I have this article that pulled up that I wanted to kind of read to you. This summer, the Trainwreck anthology, this is from Tudum by Netflix. This summer, the Trainwreck anthology will revisit some of the most gripping, bizarre, and sometimes even horrifying events that once dominated the mainstream media. Now, what I will tell you that I find interesting about all these Trainwreck documentaries is that I typically have never even heard of these stories. Like, when I go in to watch it, I'm like, I have never, like, Balloon Boy, I mean, apparently got, like, international news coverage. I didn't know anything about it. Project X, that took place in the Netherlands, never had heard of it. I don't know if it's because I'm older. I mean, obviously, Astroworld I had heard of. PI Moms, never heard of it. It's interesting to me how they pick their stories. Now, I will say I love the stories they pick because they're kind of obscure stories. And I love the interviews that they do. They interview so many different people that are involved in each case, that it's really interesting, and they're all less than an hour. So all these documentaries are less than an hour. So you can, and they're conclusive. So you get to hear the whole story and watch everything about it in an hour. Anyway, this summer, the Trainwreck anthology will revisit some of the most gripping, bizarre, and sometimes even horrifying events that once dominated the mainstream media. The headlines may sound familiar. Boy trapped in UFO-like balloon floating over Colorado, or toilets overflowing as stricken ship limps towards port. But behind the sensational coverage and sound bites are complex stories, essential questions, and real people who found themselves at the center of the chaos. And so it goes in here and it explains all these different things. But the bottom down here, they have the very last one of the summer, which is Storm Area 51. Now, I was very, very excited to watch this one as a UFO fanatic. I have been ever since I was growing up. I am a huge UFO fanatic. I've read all the books. I used to listen to Coast AM, I think every single night that it was on from like 1 to 5 a.m., where they would have like the wild card, call-ins. And I used to do this on one of my other channels. I would do this like joke about it because I loved, was it Art Bell, I think? I loved Coast AM so much. And I would listen to it at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they would do like, they go, "Hi caller, this is the wild card line." And they go, "Hi, this is Darlene, and I'm outside. I'm in a small town called Pecan and outside of Oklahoma City. Darlene, what's your story?" "Well, I was working at the Speedway tonight, and I came home, and my husband, Gerald, I made him a bologna sandwich, and then I made myself a bologna sandwich. He was sitting in there with his friend. They got some Kentucky Fried Chicken earlier, but the Kentucky Fried Chicken was already gone. He was real hungry, and they were watching the game, so I made them some bologna sandwiches, and I had made myself a bologna sandwich." "Darlene, could you get to the story, please?" Well, anyway, so I was outside. Now, my friend Cheryl, she works at the Speedway, too, but she works second shift. I work third shift. I had just gotten off, and so I came came home and I was sitting outside on our back. The kids were screaming and yelling inside because Gerald, he didn't take care of them kids at all tonight. Darling, could you please get to the story, please? All right. So anyway, I was sitting outside. Now, outside, we got this weeping willow tree in our backyard, and then behind the weeping willow tree, it's cornfield. See, we got these cornfields. And I swear to God, I saw this UFO. It crash landed into the cornfields. And then I was out there, and I was talking to my friend Cheryl on the phone, saying I was having me a natty light while I was eating my bologna sandwich. It's what I do every time I come home from the Speedway. And I was sitting out there, and I was drinking my natty light, smoking me a good Newport, and I was talking to Cheryl on the phone, and I said, Cheryl, you will never guess. And all of a sudden, out of the way came one of them greens, you know, them green men, and he came out, and he had a cowboy hat, and he tipped his cowboy hat and said, how you do, darling? And I about lost my mind. I loved Coast to Coast AM. I'm obsessed with aliens. Okay, I think if you do not believe in extraterrestrials, then you might be the most arrogant person in the entire world, okay? Because there has to be something else in this universe besides just all of us sitting down here ruining the world. But anyway, I'm obsessed with aliens, okay? So I was like, I don't know about this Storm Area 51, but I do know about Roswell, New Mexico, and I do know about Area 51. So I'm like, is this going to be about like Area 51 and aliens, all this kind of stuff? No, it's not about that. I mean, it is, but it's not. So I was like, what is this about? So I started watching it. Okay, they got a synopsis underneath here. This is the story of the greatest shitpost ever made. When 20-year-old Maddie Roberts creates a Facebook event inviting people to storm the heavily secured Air Force facility Area 51 in the Nevada desert. The post quickly goes viral with hundreds and then thousands saying they'll join the event, whose announcement stated, they can't stop us, all of us. This prompts the U.S. Air Force, FBI, and Federal Aviation Administration to strongly advise against anyone illegally trying to access the base. Despite official warnings, the post continues to go viral, and soon millions have signed up to attend. Meme lords, military commanders, UFO hunters, sexy aliens, and YouTubers, all part of the ultimate story of the internet bursting into the real world. Okay, now for me, this was one of the most boring ones, okay? As well as, they kind of got worse as the season went on with the train wrecks. So it's about this guy, this Maddie guy, okay? And I think he lives, I don't remember, Colorado or somewhere outside of Las Vegas or something. And he works at this vape kiosk in the mall. And he's watching a Joe Rogan podcast. And on the podcast, they're interviewing this like military guy that like had like seen UFOs and stuff like that. And it's talking about Area 51. And this Maddie kid, who is probably in his late 20s, has never heard of Area 51. This is where you fucking lost me, okay? Because you're interested in aliens, but you've never heard of Area 51 or Roswell, New Mexico. There was an entire TV show. They even made a reboot of Roswell. I watched the original, okay? The original Roswell back in the day. About the siblings that come down and the UFO, and then they all live in Roswell, and then there was a reboot of it. I watched it years and years and years ago. I didn't watch the reboot. But how people that know anything about aliens don't know about Area 51? I mean, Area 51 is like so famous when it comes to UFO stuff. So when he said on there he had never heard of Area 51, I was like, what? Like, seriously? So he makes up this Facebook meme, okay? Now, I had just watched The Real Project X, which was about this girl who put up a birthday party publicly, invitation, and 3.5 million people were going to show up at her house in the Netherlands, okay? And I'm like, is this all about, like, Facebook generation stuff? Like, I'm confusion. So anyway, this was about this guy, and he made this meme, and that they were all going to, like, storm Area 51, okay? This military base where it's been alleged for years and years and years they've kept these, like, caught alien spacecrafts, okay? And that they have, like, spacemen there that they've kept and all this kind of, they've done all these research studies. And it's supposed to be all at Area 51. So the whole idea was, we can't, like, they can't stop all of us. Well, they could stop some of you. And so, but then it turned into, we got to give the people something. So we're going to have a music festival there, okay? So then it turned into them working with this woman that owned the one hotel in this town, which was called Rachel, Nevada. It was this real small town where Area 51 is, okay? And so she got involved in it, and then she signed on financially as being one of the partners. Maddie didn't really have much financial responsibility. Then they start bringing in these partners, and they're getting merch, and the whole thing's going to be a shit show. Then they turn it into calling it alien stock, okay, like Woodstock, but it's going to be alien stock because it's this music festival. Then the military gets involved. Then this other promoter from Las Vegas gets involved. And he's like, no, do it in Las Vegas. You can't do it out there in the middle because you got to have stages and porta pots and safety and security, which is true for a music festival. I've gone to my fair share. And so he's like, you can't do this out in the middle of nowhere, okay? So then Maddie is on the news, and he like has no plans, and they put him on the spot. So then he ends up going with this guy, and they have like a concert in Las Vegas, like Alien Fest or whatever it's called, Alien Stock in Las Vegas. While this poor gal that's running this hotel in the middle of nowhere, she's hosting her own music festival with about 200 influencers and alien people that came out there to storm Area 51, okay? And the military, it cost them $11 million. This joke, this hoax, cost them $11 million. They show at the end of it how much it cost all these people. She made money. The woman at the hotel, she made money because she sued all them people, okay? She sued the promoters and everything, and she made money off of it. But anyway, so they show all these people dressed up like aliens and everything like that, getting ready to storm, because they're supposed to do it at 3 a.m., getting ready to storm Area 51, and then they go, and then they all like kind of just go like that. It was all big hoax. It was all just a big joke. And there was literally like, I think they said 1,000 or 1,200 people out there, and they all just kind of like dancing to some like bluegrass band or something. It was weak. It was so weak. I got done with it. I was like, what did I just watch? This was so stupid. And then this Maddie guy, he like comes out on stage in this Las Vegas show, and he's like, yeah, I'm like so glad I'm here with my alien people, like, hey, and they're all like, yay. And then he's like, he like made $1,200 selling merch or something like that, and he's back working at the vape shop. It was stupid. I was like, why do we even make this documentary? It was the stupidest one. I was over it. I was completely over it. If I had to tell you which one to watch, it wouldn't be this one, and it definitely wouldn't be PI Moms. But I haven't done that reaction. I was just over this. I wanted more like, I thought they were going to tell us about Area 51. I was like, listen, there's some things. I got some rules out there, okay? I don't want another O.J. Simpson documentary unless you got conclusive evidence, because I am so tired of the O.J. Simpson documentaries, okay? Number one. Number two, I don't want another Zodiac Killer documentary unless you can name him, okay, or her. You can name the person with evidence, DNA evidence, okay? And number three, please, God, no more JonBenet Ramsey documentaries, okay? No more JonBenet Ramsey documentaries unless they say, this is who we did it, we have DNA evidence. I'm so tired of these lean-on documentaries. Now, this did not do that, okay? But I thought I was going to be able to find out about some alien ships up in Area 51, but that's not it. So if you're going to watch it thinking that that's what it's going to be about, and the military people are very serious. They're very serious. You don't fuck with Area 51. But anyway, that part was kind of interesting to me. Because the one military guy got involved, and he was like, yeah, you know you can't do this, right? Like this is like, somebody's going to get like killed trying to like, because they thought somebody crazy would try to like really go in there. But anyway, it was bad. It wasn't good. But anyway, let me know what you thought if you watch in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.